Hello, welcome to a program on professional etiquette for success. Today I am going to tell you what are the tips in order for you to meet with success in your chosen field. In today's world, globalized world of wonderful opportunities of careers, entrepreneurships, different kinds of occupations, there is one quality that is necessary if you want to meet with success. And that quality is, yes, you guessed it right, my friends, it is professional etiquette, professionalism if you want to meet with success. It is a little bit of quality, a little touch that gives you the cutting edge over the others, a little bit of a tinge that gives you a riding career, a wonderful success. You can ride on the waves of success if you follow these small tips that I tell you. Now, if you see people who have professional etiquette, they are a class apart. You can easily find out whether people have professionalism. It is an elusive quality that if you have it, it shows. If you don't have it too, it shows. That is the irony of professionalism. So, in order to be successful, in order for you to meet with greater success, for you to go higher and higher in your rungs of success, you have to have this quality which is not measurable. You cannot measure the professionalism in you, but it is an essential quality that helps you to go to higher rungs. It is necessary for every professional in every profession. So, let us see what are those qualities. It is a quality that you cannot see. It is certainly a quality when you see it, you know its antithesis. It is a term often used in professional and occupational circles. It is difficult to measure. It can determine success in one's career. It can elevate or erode your occupation. Erode meaning it can destroy. And the final important point, it is the cornerstone, the watchword of every member of every profession. So, this, my dear friends, is professional etiquette. It is professionalism. A recent survey has shown in the States that many new recruitees, people who have been recruited, fail to show this professionalism, and thereby they cannot stick to their jobs. They have to search for other jobs elsewhere. This is a sad scenario. I hope that this will not happen here with you, because you know what is professionalism. First of all, what is etiquette? Etiquette is a set of social rules that are appreciated by all. They are behavioral patterns that are accepted in public. They are social skills in a professional setup. So, these are the rules by which we behave, the guidelines by which we can carry on our day-to-day tasks. Whether you are in an office, whether you are in a college, or whether you are in some sort of a business, you are meeting with clients, you are the manager of a position, or you are the worker who is working, the employee who is working, you are the support staff, it does not matter. You are a student, it does not matter. But these are the rules by which we are guided to behave in a public setup. And when you know that people are you are in the midst of the public, people are watching you. So, it is a kind of a personal kind of rules that you stick to. So, it is not something that can be taught in a classroom, or it can be taught in a kind of a course. It is something that you catch and it stays with you throughout. So, it is a kind of a professional kind of a behavior that you are always trying to act out. So, remember, why do we need these professional kind of skills, this kind of soft skill which is necessary in your profession? Why? Of course, you get better jobs. Definitely, a person who behaves well, who speaks well, who appears to be better, naturally gets the better job, and maybe he even gets the higher rung or the higher scale in his job. You do better in an interview, you do better in a seminar. Secondly, you get in your educational field better success. Maybe you have an interview, or maybe you have an oral test. You do better when you perform with a greater professionalism. And thirdly, better relationships. Now, you have in your workplace relationships between different cadres of people. So, if you display professionalism, it definitely counts and people observe you. It is not that you are like a cat who is drinking milk and thinking that nobody watches you. No, every time you are under the scanner, being observed by your authorities, by your subordinates. So, it always helps if you behave well with a kind of a professionalism that helps you throughout in your career. Then where does it appear? Where does this kind of a professionalism apply? Well, it applies everywhere, wherever you are in a profession, when you are working in a team, when you are speaking in public, when you are in a job interview, when you are attending a seminar or discussion, when you are at a workplace, professional etiquette helps. So, when you are in public, when you are the cynosure, when you are the center of attention, maybe in a seminar, you should learn to behave well and you should perform better with a better body language, with better spoken skills, with a better eye contact. All these things count. You will be seeing exactly what this kind of professional etiquette is. Then how do these help you in your life? You might say, why do I need professional etiquette? I am quite comfortable with the knowledge I have. Well, if you have professional etiquette, if you have this professionalism, definitely you will be considered to be more mature. So, people will assign you better jobs or better projects. You will be considered to be responsible and capable and successful and confident. Now, isn't that great? If you are considered to be the confident and successful and a responsible person who is capable of taking up better tasks, why maybe for a better post also, who knows? Or maybe the teacher is so happy with you that she makes you the president of a union or a president of a certain club. Now, isn't that great? So, your professional attitude, your polite behavior, it helps you to get higher posts, and thereby, in another word, it is like a cycle which helps you to boost your morale and you become much better. So, that is why it works, that is why and how it helps you. Now, what happens if you do not have professional etiquette? Why cannot I just be happy with the knowledge I have, be content with what I know? I am okay. It does not matter, of course, but if you show a kind of a sloppiness or a kind of unprofessional or unethical behavior, you will be considered to be a failure, and definitely you may miss the bus. Missing the bus means you may lose opportunities, and of course you lose respect. People will no longer consider you to be respectful or worthy of their honor. So, these are the kind of small ways in which you can win the esteem of people by being yourself perfect in every way, the few ways that we are going to see in our later discussion. Now, how can we develop professional etiquette? First of all, I think the manners maketh a man. I think the way you speak, the way you come across as a person definitely helps you. So, first it is your oral communication. So, in your oral communication you must be professional. Secondly, in your habits and dressing style, definitely you have certain personal habits that always are seen by others. So, these will be a rejoinder to people about what kind of a person you are, and of course your dressing style, and then your telephone skills, because today we use the telephone as a means of communication to reach to people far and near, and especially in your job it becomes a compulsion that you have to use it, your cell phone or your telephone, your landline, and then your body language, which always it is like a silent reminder to people about who you are. People visualize who you are through your expressions, through your body language, and then finally coming to the written mode. Of course, today the written mode has taken a back seat, but still it is there, because you always send emails, you are always sending memos or notices, or you are writing out resumes or letters. So, it is there, and then definitely if you are in the sales business, of course, the written communication plays a major role. So, professional etiquette can be followed through all these modes. Now, these are not norms laid by any country as such, these are norms followed right around the world. It is an international kind of etiquette that is followed by all countries around the globe. And because the world is becoming a global village, and our country too is part of the global scenario, we must see what counts, what is happening around the world, and these are some of the things that happen. So, first of all, let us see what we can see in the oral communication. How can we come across as polite people? First and foremost, polite expressions. We must learn to speak in a polite way when we are in public. So, the polite way of expressing our pleasure at meeting people, introducing people, and when you are in a meeting or when you are greeting people, you have to learn to be polite. So, let us see what are these polite expressions. Now, many a time we see that people fail to use these polite expressions. They just resort to so they are only giving monosyllabic answers, or they may not even be acknowledging you, which is not actually professional. You don't want that to happen. You want people to think that you are part of a team. So, here are some of them, polite expressions like, how are you doing? So, you might meet a person, your colleague or your friend, maybe on the corridor or near your classroom or in the workplace, and you say, hey, hello, how are you doing? So, it can be even your subordinate, it can be a person belonging to the lower cadre, but you can just say, hello, how are you doing? I hope you are fine. So, these are the ways in which you can make them feel at home and comfortable. And whenever you are asking help also, instead of simply snatching things or instead of just pulling from their hands or saying, I want the book, I want the pencil, you can say, may I, can I, could I. So, these are the polite ways of expressing your wish to get something from others. May I take your pen please? Could you please lend me your book? So, these could you please, may I please, these are really, really very, very beautiful to listen to, polite rejoinders. And then your pardon, beg your pardon. So, when you do anything wrong or when you make a mistake, it's always nice to say, I beg your pardon, pardon me, even when you are coughing or when you are making a slip of your tongue. It happens, after all, we are human beings. So, we should acknowledge the mistake that we made by saying, I beg your pardon, please pardon me, or sorry ma'am, so, or sorry sir. So, it does not matter to be a little deferential. In fact, it shows your good grooming and that you are ready to acknowledge a mistake that you make. And when somebody says thank you, you do not say it's okay, it's all right, you say you're welcome. A nice way to say it is you're welcome. So, these are the things that you can always remember. Remember, being polite is very, very useful. Excuse me or thank you, please. These are the small change, as Mr. A.G. Gardiner, an English writer, has said very rightly, that we always should have these expressions at the tips of our tongue. Please, thank you and sorry. They are the small change that we carry in our pockets. See, just a small change that helps you. You cannot say, I don't need 50 paisa coins, 1 rupee coins or 2 rupee coins. Definitely you need them, and you cannot get on in your day-to-day life without them. So, these expressions are like that small coin, which is very, very essential. Of course, it may not be much, but it does help you in your day-to-day life. So, being polite counts, and especially when you are in a professional setup, a job, or when you are in a some kind of a important position, definitely it counts. So, you must remember, be polite. That is the first step towards learning to be professional. Secondly, there are certain words that we always hear people saying, oh yeah, oh yeah. See, this yeah, I think it's become such a common expression. Instead of saying yeah, I think especially in a professional setup, we learn to say yes. That sounds pretty much better, and not saying nope. If you can say no, and avoid words like no problem. Somebody says thank you, you say no problem. That does not sound very nice. You could say you're welcome. So, you're welcome sounds much better, and it is more professional than saying no problem, yeah, no problem, it's okay. So, and another important point is avoid curse words. You are really frustrated and you might want to take out your frustration by saying, oh damn, hell. Actually, even I should not be using them. Just for illustration, I am using these words. But you should well avoid these kind of words and try to control your feelings and not curse or swear, which is very, very poor taste. And then when you should not interrupt people and say, what was that? So, instead of that you can say, beg your pardon, could you repeat it? So, do not show your lack of culture and etiquette by saying what, yeah. So, please control yourselves and go for the better words. I beg your pardon, could you please repeat it? Can you please help me? You're welcome. No, yes, yes, I believe that it's true, instead of saying yeah. So, these are some words that you should keep in mind, what you can say and what you can avoid. Then coming to introductions. Now, introductions have become part and parcel of any kind of global kind of situation, especially in corporate jobs or any job you have. You keep meeting your clients, you keep meeting people, it becomes part and parcel of your life. But there are certain tips that you should keep in mind, especially when you are introducing people. First and foremost, when somebody is introducing you, you should not sit down. You must stand up when being introduced. That's the first important step that you should remember. Always stand up when you are being introduced. Secondly, when you are introducing two people, one belonging to the lower cadre and one belonging to the higher cadre, always introduce the lowest ranked person first, and then you introduce the second ranked person next. So, always the lowest first. Thirdly, whenever you are introducing yourself, say your full name. Don't bring out your nickname or your pet name. Don't say I am Pinky when your name is Pranita. So, you must say my name is Pranita, not Pinky Singh. So, it is like you have to give your full name, and when you are being introduced to, always give a pleasant, somebody introduces you to somebody, you just say hello, pleased to meet you, it is a pleasure meeting you. So, this is the expression that you would want to say and appear that you are really comfortable with the other person. So, keep these tips in mind. And then introductions, also how you should do it and what you should not do, especially handshakes. Now, nowadays the world is becoming, I told you, a global economy, a global culture is creeping in. So, you cannot say I will not touch the hand of another person, he is a man. No, it cannot do. You have to learn to think that a handshake is a symbol of professionalism, and the way you grip the hand also, it plays a major role in showing your kind of status, whether you are confident, whether you are nervous. So, a firm handshake shows confidence and friendliness. A limp handshake shows lack of interest or fear. I am sure many of you would have read about this when you are reading about body language and what you should do and do not. So, remember, it is professional etiquette to be able to shake hands firmly with a person with a smile on your face and saying it is a pleasure meeting you, sir. So, these are the ways in which you show that you are professional. Then how would you, I am giving you an example of how you could introduce two people. So, here in this slide you can see there is Mr. Ashok Rao, who is the manager, and Mahesh Reddy, he is the trainee, the new trainee. So, you are going to introduce them. So, you say Mr. Ashok Rao, this is Mr. Mahesh Reddy, the new intern. So, you are introducing Mr. Mahesh Reddy first, and then you talk about Mr. Mahesh Reddy. Mr. Mahesh Reddy, this is our new GM, Mr. Ashok Rao. So, first you introduce the trainee and then you introduce the manager. And what would the response be to this? It is a pleasure meeting you, sir. So, this is how you introduce people. Remember that always. Always the people belonging to the lower cadre first, and then you talk to the higher cadre. Why should you do it? It only shows that we respect people of all cadres. Remember that whatever the work you are doing, we should first learn to greet them and wish them, because after all we are all like the flowers of one holy bunch. It does not matter what job you are doing. I think Mahatma Gandhi said that your profession is worship. Whatever we do it to the best, and we should respect people, especially belonging to the lower cadres. Then when it comes to greeting people, remember you should be polite and do it gently, not with a rough and rude voice, with a smile on your face, with proper eye contact. That is very important. Be polite, especially to your subordinates, and then acknowledge people, acknowledge everybody in the room, everybody you come across. Do not ignore people. There is one common kind of a behavioral pattern that people do not talk to certain people, they ignore them. Try not to do that. That is very, very unprofessional. You may have your own personal dislike or hang-ups, that is beside the point. But when you are in a workplace, you must learn to acknowledge people. That shows your professional zeal and your skill at managing people. So, always acknowledge them, and if you are at a higher status or you are in a better position or you are older than the other person, make the other person feel comfortable, especially if he belongs to a lower cadre or if he is younger than you. So, this is how you be polite. So, greeting people also counts a lot. It shows your professionalism. So, even if you are Barack Obama, the President of America, and there is a cleaning lady standing there, does not mean to say that the cleaning lady should wish Barack Obama first. It can be the other way around. Usually the president would go and say, hello Mrs. Will, what are you doing? So, it is like you show your greatness in you by honoring people and acknowledging them. There is nothing wrong in doing that. So, this is professional etiquette. Then how would you like to consider others, or how would you converse, how would you talk to people in workplaces? How would you talk? What are the topics which you talk about? Remember, never be aggressive. Don't be aggressive, don't shout or try to dominate the conversation. On the other hand, be assertive. Assertiveness is trying to bring out what you feel, what you actually feel to others in a very logical way. That is assertiveness. Second important rule in workplaces or in your college or in your job that you are going to, I think most of you will be going to jobs soon. So, don't talk about personal things, especially about something bad that has happened at home or something unpleasant. Usually they say don't wash your dirty linen in public, which is not good. See, bringing out all your stories of at home that somebody has done this to you, or you are angry with somebody, doesn't sound good. If the focus is here, you have come here to do some professional work, and talking about your personal things doesn't count, doesn't sound nice also. So, you avoid personal when you come to the professional. And next, avoid the big two. Which are the big two? Religion and politics. Don't talk religion or politics in the workplace, because you know, religion and politics, it's personal. I have my own religion, I have my own political leanings. Once I start talking about this, definitely there is going to be an argument, and arguments are a no-no, a big no-no in a professional life. You don't want to create any kind of controversy. So, you don't talk about religion and politics. And then you might want to, don't say thank you. Sometimes you might feel that you are a little scared about your boss, and you will say sir, 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 thank you sir, thank you, thank you. Don't feel that you are any way lower than the boss or any way deferential. I think not more than twice, thank you twice you should not say. I think it makes you sound somewhat helpless. So, be assertive. Whatever job you are doing, do it with confidence. That is the main thing. That is professionalism. Even if it is a small job you are doing of cleaning the tables, do it with great sense of pride. That is what you are there for, and without you the work cannot be done. So, you have that strength in you. So, don't be deferential to others, be assertive. That is professionalism. Then coming to what is other kinds of habits that you can form, what kind of professional habits that you can form. First of all, if you are working in a managerial position, or you are the teacher of a certain class, learn the names of people. Even if you are working in a team, preferably learn the names of people, because people like to hear their names. So, that I think that is a skill that you should develop early in your career. It helps you to develop a kind of a professionalism. But at the same time, though you know the name, does not mean to say you are probing, finding out about the personal issues, and then you are trying to get out all the secrets from their lives. No, never ever do that. Never try to find out more than that is necessary. Whatever personal issues, I think that is left for your home and for your friendships at home. Don't bring it out. And then even when you are talking, don't point fingers. I think there is one nice song I have learnt as a child. When you point fingers at others, 3 point back at you. Please, thank you and sorry. Always when you want to talk, you can point out with your open hand or your palm. It is very unprofessional to point fingers, which you should avoid doing. Pretty well you should avoid. You should stop doing that if you have that habit of doing it. And then when you are talking about coming to the personal habits of people, how can you be professional in your personal habits? First of all, you dress. When you dress formally to a workplace. Follow a kind of a dress code. Suppose the workplace demands that you wear simple clothes, sober clothes, come dressed like that. And if they expect that you wear your hair neat and short, dress like that. You do not want to look like the young Mahesh Dhoni with his long hair, because you look stylish, or you do not want to look like Aishwarya Rai with your hair flowing around you. No. If you are a woman, I think you should wear it in a chignon or a small bun or a small knot or a small braid. If you are a man, I think you cut it short so that it looks very neat, because you do not want your hair falling into your eyes when you are working. You are here to work, mind you. So, you follow a dress code. So, whatever is the dress code demanded, now you see certain jobs they demand that you wear suits and coats and shoes. Well, that is the dress code, you have to follow it. There is no saying it's I don't wear it, it's not cultural, it's something I don't follow, no. So, when you also carry your paraphernalia like your bags or your cases or your try to make them look neat, not as though you are sloppily carrying something in a big bundle around you. Be neat when you are coming to your workplace, and you look tidy and you look cheerful, not sloppy and sleepy. Many come as though it's like they are really unhappy coming to work or college. You should always come with a spring on your foot, with a smile on your shoulders, and your energy showing in your walk, your brisk walk. So, you walk briskly, you stand tall, and when people look at you, they should feel she is very, very ready for some work, not as though she is ready to go to sleep. Or some people always complaining about backache or knee pains. I think everybody has some pain somewhere every day. Don't you agree? All of us have some kind of ache somewhere, but some show it, some don't. So, it's better kept personal and certain things not brought out to the fore. So, when you walk, there's a professional gait. When you carry your paraphernalia, your purse or your bag or your books, the way you hold it, the way you cover your books, everything counts. So, professionalism should be slowly inculcated. It cannot come overnight. It's like following all these steps slowly. So, professionalism comes with your personal habits. Another word about good grooming. How can you appear to be good and groomed, well groomed? Especially your style is the man, style maketh the man. So, your style shows what kind of a person you are. So, what kind of are you neat, are you tidy? So, keep your hair neat and tidy, not oily, and I think now people don't wear oil, so it's okay. But at the same time, don't say that you don't have dandruff and then it looks very unkempt, especially when you go to interviews. Your hair should be neatly trimmed and combed. Men especially, they should not have whiskers on their face. I think clean shaved is better. And if you are wearing a beard, well trimmed beard, it should be even if you are wearing a goatee, it should be well trimmed and neatly kept. So, everything counts because everybody is observing you. You are the synergia, center of attraction, especially in interviews, in your workplace, everything is visible. Your nails also. People come around biting their nails, you can see that they are gone down to the roots also, I think, so much they bite. Or they have pretty long nails coming with different nail paints and nail arts. I think avoid all that. Keep it neat and trim them well, and keep yourself very, very clean and tidy, fresh and smelling good, not too strong. Some people wear overbearing perfume, which is not good. So, be gentle in your appearance, don't go for greasy and oily look, be neat and tidy, dress well. And then clothes, of course your clothes not too flashy, not too much jewelry, like you are coming dressed up like a Christmas tree, or too many dangling earrings, or men especially chains. I think they are really a big no. You should not wear chains, I think, to your workplace. And of course your dress also, be dressed sober and simple and neat. Dress according to the code that is expected of you, or you dress very simply, not with too much of jewelry. I think that should be avoided. Then next, coming to your behavior, how should you when you are in a professional setup, say in a seminar or in a group, how should you behave? First of all, try not to interrupt people when they are talking, wait for them to finish, and then again, not too loud, not too soft when you are speaking to people also. And some people have the habit of eating some food even in the afternoons or anything, something smelly, like for example fish or prawns or anything, which may not be comfortable to people who don't eat that kind of food. So, I will avoid that kind of food. You can have it maybe for a Sunday or an evening meal, that should be avoided. And again, chewing gum or popping gum, of course, I see that many students avoid doing that, which is a very good sign. So, you should avoid chewing or popping gum, which is really bad. It shows very badly of you. This I have observed when I was in a college in the US. Children come chewing gum and they pop gum in the class. They stick the gum under the table, which is very bad. I think Indian students are very better off than all that, thank God. Then about behavioral etiquette. Now coming to your, when you talk to people, you nod and smile, you be neat and conservative and smell nice, don't smell smelly, use a deodorant of course, and of course tattoos and body piercings, no, they should not be visible to people. And of course sneezing and coughing, remember to use a handkerchief and say excuse me whenever you do that. Whenever you cannot avoid, please say excuse me, which shows your good culture. And don't sneeze on the face of people especially, because now you see it's carrying out a lot of germs around. And your body language, coming to this aspect, I think many of you know pretty well, don't sit with your legs crossed, but sit with your legs parallel, especially in an interview. It shows very poorly when you sit with one leg over the other, you sit with legs parallel. This is in a picture that you can observe how you can sit in an interview with your hands on your thighs with your and your resume or whatever in your hand. And then coming to your meetings and seminars and classrooms, when you are sitting, don't pass comments, don't disturb the speaker, listen attentively, sit a little bit forward so that you are interested, show that you are interested. You might be really going to sleep inside, that does not matter, you may be off, your mind is off, but at least your body language, you show that you respect people and people's personal space. See, look at this picture here, how the students are not listening at all, they are slouching, they are not maintaining eye contact, they are not keeping their shoulders erect, which you should not. Always sit properly, sit erect. See again a picture again, it shows that they are not at all sitting properly. So what did we see in the small 2-3 slides? We saw that you should have proper posture. Even I told you earlier, walk with briskness, walk with your shoulders straight. In the classroom also show a kind of professionalism. In a meeting too, you can show professionalism by sitting straight and erect with your eyes on the speaker, and you are nodding, and even though you may not be interested in the topic, that is a secondary issue, but you must show that you are listening to that person, nodding now and then, so that when you nod and when you have eye contact, your brain also registers what the person has spoken. Now next, coming to time management. Time, of course, time and tide wait for none. You know that half of your success lies in time management. I think this is very, very important. So watch the time, all the time, time should be important. So what should you do when you are at a meeting? Always be punctual. Any program in your college, be on time. In fact, be 5 minutes earlier, no harm at all. It's good to be on time or a little early. So for example, some assembly that you have to attend in the morning, come 2 minutes early. All these are professional habits. Latecomers are unprofessional. They don't know how to manage their time. That is very, very clear. And then another point is that don't come too early, because it might be troubling the organizers. It might be they might want to clean up or do something. So don't be too early also. So both ways I think we can avoid. Don't be too early, don't be too late, be on time. So this is the etiquette that people will appreciate in you. And then when you are supposed to talk for 5 minutes, talk for 5 minutes. Don't exceed the limit. I have seen many cases in the States where people, if they overdo the time, if they go beyond the time given, people just walk out of the hall. It's not like they are so patient like Indians. Indians are very patient. We respect and we give that importance to the leaders, political leaders especially. They come 1 hour late, we are okay. They speak 2 hours, we are okay. But it's not so in the international scene. You have to value time. You have to finish your work within the deadline. So you have to develop this kind of a habit, which is very, very, very essential if you want to meet with success in your job, which is going to be taken up in a few years from now. So complete your tasks within the deadline. That's very, very important. The next important aspect that we are going to deal with is telephone etiquette. Now telephone etiquette, telephone has become an important means of communication. It is effective, of course, because you can carry out all sorts of tasks through the telephone. Remember, your voice should be pleasant, clear, your word choice must be to the point with good phrases, effective language. At the same time, speak clearly. First, announce yourself. When you lift the telephone, you say, I am so and so. Be specific and clear. Listen patiently. Don't be in a haravadi, don't be in a hurry. because you said what you wanted, so I do not want to listen to the person who is talking. No, you wait for the other caller to hang up before you hang up, because you have started the call. Wait for the other person to hang up. Do not bang the phone down when you finish talking. No, that is not etiquette. So, this is very, very important. And do not shout into the phone, do not at all swear, or do not eat. Some people eat, chew, drink, which is very bad. And do not suddenly put on the phone without saying goodbye. Do not use slang, say yeah, hang on. No, all this is no. Especially when you are in a workplace, this is very, very uncouth. It is very bad. People have pointed out that they get very bad phone calls, especially in call center jobs. This has been the complaint. Then coming to the next important point is that when you are talking especially, and how you have to when you are using a voice, do not use very loud voices, you do not use like a falling tone. So, for example, you should say shut the window. So, the tone should be, can I speak to Mr. So and so? Do not say, can I speak to Mr. So and so, which is a falling tone. So, you have to use the rising tone. So, remember the tones you can see there, shut the window, pass the bowl please, see the rising tone. You should not say close the door, stop that noise, go and post it. It shows your authority and anger. So, your tone is very, very essential when you are talking to people. It shows your command over yourself and how you are able to be nice to people. Cell phone etiquette. When you are in public places, switch off. That is very important. Do not talk loudly in public on cell phones. Do not put your phone on speaker mode. In fact, I was just reading somewhere, do not put your cell phone on the table when you are in a meeting also. That is also bad. And do not multitask, like driving and phoning, or talking to somebody and doing things like this. The Indians are very famous for all this. You will never get away with it when you cross the Indian border, because people are very strict when it comes to cell phone. Learn to use the cell phone as the cell phone, not as though it is controlling you. Do not let it control you, you control it. Do not text in a meeting in the classroom, do not be texting. And do not talk about personal topics in a public place. Some people noisily they will be shouting, how are you, yemi idi, em jarigindi. Noisy ringtones also put you off. Be in mute when you use good ringtones please, not those noisy ones, really they sound so horrible. And then control your cell phone, do not let it control you. This is really something that all students must learn. The cell phone is just a gadget for us to convey information. It should not control your time and life please. That is very, very unprofessional. Coming to written communication, notices, letters, emails, memos, we are always using this. Be formal, be businesslike, use apt words, take care of your tone, spell check and proofread. There was a survey conducted by the Times of New York. They found that most of the letters, they contain mistakes. So, if it could be a resume, or it could be a job interview, job application letter, umpteen number of mistakes. So, every time you are sending a letter, wait for a minute before you press the send button, check, always spell check. That is very, very important. So, do not be in a hurry, because language is very, very important. People are always waiting to pick out the mistake from what you have said. And emails also, a note on emails. Be careful when you are sending the email. Be economical, do not use too long. Do not use the company email for your personal use. This can be immediately noticed by the management. And also correct your grammar. Do not underline when you are sending your emails. Do not bold the text which sounds as though you are shouting. And then please write the subject in the subject line. Many send emails without filling up that subject block, which is very frustrating. People have said it is very frustrating. In formal emails, do not use emoticons. I am sure that all of you know these emoticons. Everywhere they are like becoming so popular, everywhere they are there. Avoid use of abbreviations, like youngsters use this LOL, because, thanks. This, I think you forget your original spelling, and these are the spellings we learn, which is very, very strange. It is like telegraphic language. So, the older generation, we thank God we are beyond all this kind of influence. Younger generation, take care of your language, take care, because beware, this can happen, this can mar your future. And then coming to the final point, we have this what is called international etiquette. Now, today the world has become a global village, and don't think that you will be employed only in in Hyderabad, or only in Vijayawada, or only in any other place. You can be employed anywhere, because opportunities are such. You have multinational companies coming in, and they are willing to take you for your skills and train you. So, you must be aware of what is called international etiquette also. So, what are the things you should remember when you are going to a foreign country? Remember, when you are making a call to a foreign nation, time zones are prevalent. What is time zones? That is, it may be you may be thinking it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon for you. You want to make a phone call to a client who is there in America. Remember, he is sleeping there, because it is the other side of the globe, and the time zone is different. So, be aware of that, be conscious of everything. And secondly, cultural differences also, language differences also, etiquettes of foreign countries. What may be good in the Japanese culture may be not something different in your own culture. The Japanese have a very strange way of bowing to you at every minute. Does not mean that they are in any way considering themselves inferior to you. For them, it's a way of showing their welcoming. They try to welcome people by that. Or Italians will say ciao. It does not mean that they are rude. It only means that they are saying goodbye. So, it is certain things that you have to learn when you are going to a foreign country, the etiquette of another country. So, etiquette of your own country, yes, we remember, we say namaste, and for foreigners they may wonder what is a namaste, but I did see that Barack Obama was saying namaste to some Indians. So, I think the culture catches from one country to another country. It is a spread of good behavior. So, learn the etiquette if you are going abroad, or if you want to study abroad, learn that culture of that particular country. Do not get the culture shock. And then also, when you are addressing people, when you are addressing your workers or your colleagues, try to address them with the proper use of Mr. or Miss or Mrs. whatever, according to the correct use of it. So, you have to learn to speak to them also in a polite manner, learning their status, or trying not to offend them, and you talk to them in a nice way. So far we have seen what is etiquette, and without etiquette what would happen. Now, what happens if you do not follow all these things? If you come late and you are not bothered about your dressing style, you do not bother about the way you behave, you do not bother to address others properly, what would happen? Well, you may be okay for some time, people may accept you for some time, but as time goes on, you become a pain, you become a burden to that company, you become a problem to people working with you. You cannot work in a team, you cannot make people happy, they are uncomfortable with you, and you may not be sounding like a professional, and people may not want to work with you. Why? Maybe some projects will be missed by your company, and you may also not perform well, because you do not have people who are close to you and they do not want to work with you. So, we do not want that kind of things happening. Even when you are giving a seminar, come dressed well, wear your hair well, carry yourself well, stand properly, stand correctly. So, what are the different aspects that we saw? We saw that we should have proper oral skills, so that you speak well, you are able to converse well with people, you behave well, you are able to behave in a way that is very professional, you display proper body language, and you also groom yourself well, you come across as a professional person, you learn to carry your cell phone and you use it in the correct time instead of overusing it or misusing it, and then you learn what is to be international, because you are part and parcel of the international globe. You are a person who belongs to the global family. As John Donne was saying, we are not living in an island, are we? Are we living in an island? No, we are part of society. We are part and parcel of this global village called mankind. Do not feel that you are all alone, do not feel that you do not belong to mankind. So, you should not say, why should I learn etiquette? No, you should learn etiquette, and you carry on your work with success, so that you are able to come across as an elegant, disciplined and cultured person. Thank you for listening. It was a wonderful pleasure talking to all of you, and I hope you will keep on becoming more and more professional, so that you will go higher and higher and higher in the ladder of success for many years to come. Thanks for listening.